Art, I know the U.S. Marshal Service wasn't involved in this particular apprehension, but talk to us about the challenge of then taking somebody from Pennsylvania across the country to Idaho and how that will likely happen.
Yeah, well, the Marshal Service basically is in charge of transportation of prisoners within the United States, and they do about 206,000 prisoner moves, both by aircraft. We have our own airlines, Justice Prisoner Alien Transportation System, or as people like to call it, Con Air. But the marshals have that authority, and they do it for the federal court system, but they also assist state and local entities out there based on a request to move prisoners across the country. And they do this every single day. And they're very good at it. And they have it's the only government run airline in the country. And amazingly, even though it's government run, it works very, very well.
I can't imagine that they're going to drive him or put him on a commercial flight. I would see this happening on a private aircraft. What are your thoughts on that?
No, they would. This individual is too high profile, and a lot of the state and local entities, the larger law enforcement agencies out there, usually have extradition units of their own, and they deal with either driving a prisoner from one location to the other or flying them commercially. I can't imagine they would fly this particular individual commercially, both because of the security issue from the public, but also he's such a high profile individual. I would think they would fly him back on a private plane, and the request might be into the Marshal Service already, considering his extradition hearing is coming up. And we would put him on a small aircraft by himself with 3 or 4 marshals or law enforcement, and go ahead and move him across the country just like that.
Art, how quickly do you see them transporting BRYAN KOHBERGER from Pennsylvania to Idaho?
Transportation of prisoners across the U.S. is done very quietly, secretively. Marshal Service or any other entity does not talk about transportation issues or security issues or when an individual is being moved. So it could happen very quickly, or they might take some time and wait a little while. But I know you guys will be stationed at the courthouse, at the jail, probably over at the police department also, to try to get some information on when he's coming in. But that's something that's kept very close to the chest. So you're not going to know until the vehicle or a convoy pulls in. And I can tell you in the past, from the Marshal Service perspective, sometimes we send decoy convoys around so that we can ensure the security and safety of a particular individual being moved.
Interesting. Well, you know us all too well. I think we'll be stationed out at the airport as well over
I'm
in
sure
Pullman.
You will be, yes.
Well,
Yes.
Art Roderick, retired U.S. Marshal, former Assistant Director of Investigations for the U.S. Marshal Service, thank you so much for your time and your expertise and for joining us here on Sidebar. We hope you'll come back sometime.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Angela.
And that's it for this edition of Law and Crime Sidebar Podcast. It is produced by Sam Goldberg and Logan Harris. Bobby Zoki is our YouTube manager. Kiara Bronson handles our social media. And Alyssa Fisher is our booking producer. You can listen to and download Sidebar on Apple, Spotify, Google, and wherever else you get your podcasts. And of course, you can always watch it on Law and Crime's YouTube channel. I'm Anjanette Levy, coming to you from Moscow, Idaho, and I'll see you next time.